Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show, trying to make sense of this crazy Arizona market. And we have to start asking the question, is this summer going to be flat? Have we kind of reached a point here where sales are not going to spike up and sales are not going to dip? Inventory kind of staying level? It's possible. And I'm going to share with you why I see that and some of the things that I'm seeing. And, for those of you that want prices to come down, maybe it's not going to happen soon enough, or if you want prices to go up, I'm not seeing that, but we're going to go look at some commentary here from the Cromford folks, and they're saying for the monthly period ending May 15th, we're currently recording a sales per square foot of 294.99, which is down substantially from 3.4%, not from, but a substantial 3.4% decline from April. That's pretty hefty. But they're saying that our midpoint forecast for the average monthly sales on June 15th is 296.56, which is up from 0.5% from the May reading. Now, they base this on some of the numbers that they're seeing in the multiple listing service and what's going on. Now, this week, I can tell you that what I'm seeing here on active listings, this is not updated, will not update until Monday morning, but we've gone up about 400 homes. So this is going to go up just a little bit, but it looks like, based on the other tracking that I have, my 7-day moving average, that velocity of new listings coming on is slowing down a little bit, which is the yellow graph here. And our sales have gone down to about 2,800. It's still got Mother's Day in there. That'll creep up a little bit next week. New listings may creep up, but it's the gap that I follow, and I can see that it's not as large as it was at the beginning of the week. So what's that tell us? Well, it's telling us that it's not swinging wildly one way or the other. Now, this week was very unusual. We had inflation data come out, and it was very good. It was very favorable. You would think that would make the central bank start having conversations saying, well, it's time to maybe loosen up a little bit, which is what a lot of people are waiting for, but they didn't. And the bond market reacted the same way. They just kind of snoozed it off. Oh, those are good numbers. Thanks. There's still a lot of anxiety out there over the impact of tariffs and the progress of that, or lack of progress, what's going to happen. So the bond market's waiting. A lot of concern about the budget. The budget's being negotiated right now. What's going to happen towards the debt? Is anything actually going to be done that looks favorable towards helping us with our debt and these high interest payments we've got? We have $9 trillion in short-term debt that's going to roll over in June. What's going to happen? We're actually paying $1 trillion now on just our interest on our debt. What's going to happen when that debt goes from 2% to 4.5%? They borrowed short term. They didn't borrow long term. So what's that impact going to be like? Well, see me in June. There's a lot to be said about it. But then there's this. This is the Fannie Mae National Housing Survey Home Purchase Sentiment Index, and it has increased. In other words, the sentiment out there for whether or not I want to purchase a home has started to go up a little bit. Where did that come from? Well, we're seeing an increase in inventory, more homes available. And now keep in mind, this is a national survey. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going on in Phoenix. However, it is when it comes to inventory. I don't have a sentiment survey for the Phoenix area. This is a national survey that Fannie Mae did. But nonetheless, nationally, it has gone up. We're seeing our list pricing starting to finally come down. It was flat for a while. You can see here that it's 362.42, and the direction is down. This is not the sales price, it's the list pricing. This is the monthly average sales pricing, and it's coming down substantially too. So this is giving people some hope, glimmers of hope, saying, well, maybe the market is getting better for me as a buyer, and sellers are, oh boy, this is rough. Now looking ahead to summer, we're going to need some substantial increase in listings in summer and sales to drop off a little bit further for those of you expecting a bargain this summer to materialize. So far, I don't see it. So if you're waiting and saying, I'm going to buy in July or August because I think prices are going to be considerably lower than they are now, I'd say as a betting man, don't bet on it. Will they be down maybe 2 to 4%? Maybe. I think so. Are they going to be down 10? Doesn't look like it. We're going to need a spike in inventory. Our sales are down to between 2,800 every 7 days to 3,000. The odds of those getting even lower, I think, are slim from a statistical standpoint. The odds of inventory increasing in the summer here in Phoenix, not that good, because seasonally we don't. So we will continue to creep up 1 to 300 to 400 a week, maybe, but that's not enough to make sales prices plummet. Now, new construction, I'm going to show you some numbers here on new construction in just a moment. In that, you've heard me say, look, they're giving you the sun and the moon and the stars right now, and they are, but temper that, because what I mean by that is, they are starting in some areas to bargain with you a little bit on the base price, but they're not going nuts with it. They're going down anywhere from 5,000 to 20,000 on the base price. Maybe if you're lucky, you get 30,000 down. But where they're really sinking the money in is buying down that rate for you, and that's very expensive for builders. $30,000 to $50,000 to $60,000 to buy down the rates in the high threes, low fours, mid fours. That's a lot of money that they're throwing. Some of the builders buy them in bulk, some do them individually, but they're throwing the money at you. Now, are you going to get a combination of a price decrease, a good rate, and a lot of incentives and a lot of closing cost contributions? No. You're going to get this or that or that or this. You're not going to get all of it. So when I say the sun, moon, and the stars, be real, because they are not in a position where they have to have a fire sale. And part of the reason is this is single family permits year to date. Now you'll see that permits in 2023 were 4677. Those are the homes that are on the market today, because permits take about a year and a half to go. So the permits were low here. And so we haven't exploded with a whole bunch fit in the market, but we might as we go into 2025, 26. So the builders know this now. They're not working on excessive inventory now. So they're trying to unload what they have. Obviously, I don't have access to their absorption rate, but it doesn't seem to be that they are in any kind of panic mode. And so listings under contract total in our market have actually gone up, if you can believe it or not, this past week. We'll see if that continues as well. So all indications are that the shoe is not going to fall off the other foot this summer. A lot of things could change. A lot of things could go wrong. I mean, just look at Moody's this week. They downgraded our pristine credit rating. But let's take that with a grain of salt, because globally, I mean, there's nothing safer than U.S. Treasury bills. So if you're China, Japan, Europe, and you want to put your money in a safe haven, we may have gone from a AAA rating to an AA +1. That's not alarming. It is them just saying, we need to send a signal here that we need something done about the debt. So the bond market, again, didn't react to that either. Let's see what happens on Monday. They kind of said, yeah, we've been feeling that. And so they're ignoring this bond. We've been here before. The shoe didn't fall off, but it makes good news headlines. On the back burners, this article I ran into, why is the Fed quietly buying billions in bonds and hoping nobody notices? Is this another round of quantitative easing? For brighter minds than me, we'll have to take a look at it. Now we look at our contract ratio here, and we look down here. I'll pull out my handy dandy magnifying glass, and the contract ratio is increasing. It's not decreasing. So there are some quiet signals out there that are showing that it's not getting really ugly, that we are very slow, that there is some slight optimism building. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens this late spring. May is slow. June will be slow. July will be slow. But will it be as slow as May? I don't know. The numbers are telling me perhaps not. I'm expecting a summer slowdown, but not at the magnitude I was looking at in April. So that's my little slight prognostication. Hey, do me a favor. I have a newsletter that comes out every Monday morning. Use the link below to sign up. I provide all of the detail from the Carver Market Index, Mortgage News Daily, and Pat has a mortgage tidbit that he's added, and I have my opinion at the bottom. It comes out every morning, and we don't spam you. So if you have any questions, shoot me an email, Rick rickhelps.com. Take care.